there, YouTube Live. It is 5 p.m. South African time, and I am hoping that you got the message that I'm going live and we're talking about mental health issues. I just want to fix my screen here while I wait for you. Okay, and go back a bit. Right. Um, Let me see myself if I'm live. Please, when you log in here, say hello, 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 so that I can see who is live with me here. Right. I love the lighting. Loving the lighting. Today we're talking about mental health issues, and I want to post on my social media platforms. My assistant is not here, so yeah, it is a struggle. Hello, hello, hello. I see two people are looking in here. Please let me know who you are and where you're logging in from while I still update my Facebook status. Right, I'm almost done. Hello, 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 guys. Hello. Today we're talking about very serious things, mental health, and a lot of people, we don't want to address these issues of mental health or things connected to mental well-being, but I want us to become aware of what we think is mental health, or what we even name to be depression, anxiety, and all that, so that it can help us navigate this life with ease, right? So I'm going to start because we're already 2 minutes into this live video. And for those of you who are watching the live video, even the replay, my name is Malebo Oljon Zindi. I am a holistic life coach, and I help my clients heal their past traumas and pain, and so that they can live with ease. One of the things that I know with myself, let me close here. I have been through very traumatic situations in my life that has encouraged me to actually look into myself, to look into healing myself. And as I was healing myself, because I have been ordained as a leader in whatever that I'm doing, I decided, let me go out there and help other people also become. When you heal yourself, you are allowing ease in your life, you are allowing good manifestation to flow through you, you are allowing money, you are allowing love and all these beautiful things, right? The other thing that I do is being an energy healer, which a lot of people don't know. What does energy healing actually is all about? So what I do specifically, because I know that energy healing differs from one healer to the other, but I want you to think of a time when you go for maybe therapy, right? What I do with that is that therapy would take you to you seeing what is your problem, what has been haunting you, and all that. But when it comes to energy healing, I also, do that process. And not only that, that I cleanse the energy of that thing. So many times when we faced with trauma or pain or anything, it sits in somewhere in our bodies. And I remember one of my clients had a money issue, which was literally on her shoulders. So when we were doing the healing work, we discovered that she's still carrying that energy on her shoulders. So that is what I do as an energy healer. I help you cleanse that energy so that it doesn't come back to you. The people who quit alcohol and go back to it, or quit smoking and go back to it, it's not because they are bad or in the medical industry they call it a relapse. It's because that energy is still there. So when the energy is still there, yeah, possibly you're going to struggle with that addiction or that pain or whatever it is, right? So as an energy healer, I'll help you cleanse that energy so that you can navigate through life with ease without dense energy or energy that is weighing you down. Hello, Dr. Maditsi, thank you for joining us. I don't know who else is here. Okay, so we're talking about mental health, and these days I write, when I get the messages, I used to ask myself, how do pastors get messages every Sunday to preach? And guess what I am doing? I am preaching every week. It's just not on Sunday. Our church is on is on Tuesday. And what I do is that I will be getting downloads of the things that I need to talk about, and I will be actually telling you how to do it. So I need to write them down and say, hey, Gele, this is and this and this and this. So mental health or mental health issues are connected to schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, and others that I'm not mentioning, that I'm not even aware of, but it's a lot of those type of things, right? And a lot of people do struggle with severe mental illnesses, and some people do not. It's just, sometimes you feel like, oh my goodness, I am sinking into depression. Some people do have light anxiety. I struggled with a lot of anxiety in the past, and I'm going to explain to you why I did so. A lot of people would have these things and they don't know. And I have heard many times that people would say, my anxiety is triggered when this and this. It's not your anxiety. Please leave that role of owning the anxiety, right? So the first thing is, hello Malitati. The first thing that I want us to talk about when it comes to mental health issues is the issues that people are sensitive to energy. There are certain people who are sensitive to energy, and the sensitivity then you might think that you have depression, and of course you would go to the doctors, the medical industry, because medical industry and the spiritual world works differently, right? So when you are sensitive to energy, and some of you have heard the word empath. So when you are an empath, or you are sensitive to energy, it means that you can feel what other people are feeling as if it's your own feeling. Uh-huh. So if somebody feels bad, if they feel sad, you also feel that as if it's yours. So I forgot to actually tell my husband to fetch my son, our son. And please bear with me here. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. On Tuesdays, actually, what we do is that in the morning, my husband fetches our son, and then later on, he drops him, I fetch him. So when I'm doing this, I consistently have to remind him that, hey, don't forget. you know. Anyway, so hello Lerata, hello Ditine. So when you are sensitive to energy, you feel what other people are feeling as if it's your own feeling. And when you are not aware of it, guess what happens to you? You think it's your depression, like people always say. You think it's your depression. You think it's your anxiety. You think it's and I know partially about schizo, that it's also connected to that. So when you are sensitive, when you are empath, you are going to feel other people's energies. And in the past, I have thought that I was struggling, like I was struggling with anxiety. I was not struggling with anxiety. What was happening with me is that before I accepted my calling, you call, before I accepted my calling, I would have downloads of information or things that I have to deliver to people, right? So for an example, who is here Dimakatso? So maybe I've once interacted with Dimakatso, and maybe God is telling me that you need to tell Dima to start her journey of healing. I'm just making an example, Dima. you know, God is saying Dima Kato must start her journey of healing, and she must start it this way, right? And I will be judgmental to myself. What if Dima Kato asks, who is this lady? Why is this lady coming to me? So I will be so much in this cubic of self judgment, self whatever, you know. And guess what happens? I will never tell you that. I will never tell anyone about that. I remember there was a time when I was working for this company for 6 years, where I was abused and all of those things. And the guy who was really showing me, fire, umlilo, flames. The daughter was working there, and one day the daughter was very, very sick. And spirit, God told me that I needed to go and pray for this lady. Mugele are next. I'm not going to do that. What if that person is not a Christian? What if they don't believe in prayer? This is me against myself, right? So every time when I had those episodes, I would be like, sort of, I'm bottling up information that I was supposed to give to people and release myself from that. And I would struggle with a lot of anxiety, whatever those people are feeling, that I was supposed to help them with just by word. I'm not talking about me taking people to wherever, just by a word. It will be so, I will, it's sort of a pressure inside of me that it comes out or manifests itself as anxiety. So I know myself that I'm also sensitive to energy. So now that I understand, I'm more spiritual than religious. I understand what I'm doing. I know when it's my energy and when it's not my energy. So the first thing first, you need to understand: am I very sensitive to energy? And if you are here or you know anyone who's struggling with anxiety, you need to ask them, or depression, anxiety, all the mental health, issues, things connected to mental health. Ask them what would be the trigger of that. Many people would say, like recently there was just dense energy, very, very, very dense energy that was happening around. Many people felt it, but they didn't know what it was. But some people would be like, yo, the death of Ricky actually triggered me because whatever, whatever, whatever. That is dense energy that triggers things within you. It's not like it's actually triggering something in you. It's because you are sensitive to energy. And if anyone, whether you know them or you don't know them, or a group of people die in a way that is not right, like, killing yourself in an accident, you as a person who is energy sensitive, you will feel that. So for an example, Ricky committed suicide, and he was a celebrity. He was known by a lot of people. We were listening to his music. I mean, I didn't even know that there was this other song. It was his, and my husband was the one who was like, "Yeah, that was Ricky. Actually, is still Ricky's song." And we used to listen to his music. Some people were inspired by how he dresses and all that. Now, when that person dies in that manner, not a manner of, yeah, I've done whatever that I came here for, and that I'm living, in a manner of killing yourself. The energy is so dense that it affects the people who were spiritually connected to that person. And as it, because like Ricky was known, a lot of people in South Africa, even outside of South Africa. So because we are connected, we are one with all that is. And when Jeanette is triggered by this death, Jeanette also sends out those frequency out into the universe to other people who can carry them, right? So when after the death of Ricky, I made a video on my page, and after that I went off from social media because I was like, "Who? This is too much." Because on social media now you're exposed to a lot of people who don't know themselves, who don't know why things are happening the way they are happening, and they have an opinion for everything. So I was like, "Let me close off. Let me go for a detox. Let me work on myself." So I went, I think, for 3 days. on social media after that. So many people are also like me, because it's not about you being a coach, it's how you are born or what you are born with. So many people are sensitive to energy, and they feel that. Remember when there was a I think it's still there. It's just that I don't watch news, but I see it on social media. What was happening in Ukraine? Um, apparently it affected the petrol price. So imagine how is it going to affect you emotionally and spiritually, right? So the message I was just saying. So the thing that was happening in Ukraine and whatever the war, people were dying in a way that was not right, and it was affecting us. It was weighing us down, So sometimes you will think, oh, it's in Ukraine, but again, you are depressed, or you're feeling depressed, or you're feeling anxious. It's because of the energies. Imagine what happens to people who are in war. They are busy finding ways of how can I escape the enemy and all these things and all these things. The same emotions or feelings you will be feeling on yourself, as if it's yours. So I struggled with this for the longest time of my life. And even when a client comes to me, books a session, I know when a client is exhausted, I know when a client is depressed, I know when a client is anxious, because now I understand it's not me. Because in the past I would be like, oh, why am I feeling like this? Oh, there's something wrong with me. Oh, I need to take medication. Oh, well, I never took medication for anxiety, but only to find out that a lot of people are living, and one day we'll talk about it, and I think it's in my book because I was reading it today, in a consciousness called the victim consciousness. And when you are there, you are in a dense type of energy. Everything else, doesn't make sense to you. So when you then are given that spirit, that you being an empath, now you are feeling where the world is. The world is in panic mode. The petrol price is going up. Or how are we going to live if the petrol price is up? How are we going to navigate life through is when everybody's talking about this, just like the Will Smith and the thingy. Everyone wants to talk about how Will Smith and what he was not supposed to do. He was supposed to do that and all those things. Those type of things, they do affect us as human beings, especially if you are sensitive to energy. So every time when you feel depressed, when you feel anxious, when you feel like the schizo is coming back, you need to ask yourself, where am I? Who am I with? What are they struggling with? And I'm not saying that we always have to project life from the outside, but and most of the time these things are connected to what is happening around you. Okay, so you need to ask yourself, do you feel the anxiety? When do you feel anxious? When do you feel depressed? Those type of things, when you go to the medical industry, they will tell you take pills and all these things. It's not going to help you. You need to understand what is driving, what is the trigger for that. And when you understand, most of the time you will understand that it's something that has been happening in the cosmos. So you need to know, oh, when this is happening, maybe it's revealing something in me that I need to heal within me, or it's actually something that I need to heal within the world, in the world, right? So death, if you know that if you a family member has passed away through accident, there will be things like that. Or if a family member has passed away through killing themselves, you're more likely the generation coming, or even that generation, will also suffer the same things. So maybe it's time for you to cleanse. I know when they say a place, maybe somebody passed away, and through an accident they have to go and fetch that spirit. Now, because of a religion and what is right and what is wrong, people don't do that anymore. And uh, uh, um, sometimes when you don't do what you are supposed to do, the spirit hovers around, is not resting and all that. And the place, you would see most of those places you have high accident zone, whatever, because those spirits are still there. So sometimes there are people who are called to cleanse the world, right? we'll talk about it some other time, to cleanse and heal the world. There are people who are just called to heal certain number of people, not the world at large. So when you understand your calling, when you understand yourself, when you understand what is the trigger for your depression, for the depression that you are struggling with, and the anxiety and all that, you will then understand where is it that I'm supposed to be in this world, right? That is the first one. And then the second one is generational wounds. You, I don't know how many times do I need to speak about generational wounds, because yes, it affects us. So when there's this other lady, I think she's coming from Africa. I don't know her name, but I usually see people sharing her videos, about spirituality and all that. And she made a video that I think I shared on one of my WhatsApps. So I have got two phones, and yeah, my business line and my personal one. So whatever number you have. So when I watched it, I actually was, glad that somebody is actually talking about what I'm writing about in the book. I'm talking in the book about generational wounds, because our ancestors, the time when there was colonization, remember the wars, all these things. So when there is war, obviously you're going to behave a certain way. You're always going to be in a panic mode. You're always going to think, oh my goodness, am I doing the right thing? Or is the enemy coming? And all those things. That on its own change your genetics, change your genes to something else, to a survival mode, if I could put it that way, to a survival mode. Meaning that the generation that comes after you would only have genes of a survival mode. Now, when there's a problem, I know a lot of people who would say, I would start something and I will panic. I'll have this anxiety if this thing is going to happen. Some of those things comes from our ancestors, because they had so much worry in running in their DNA, that is running in our DNA today as I'm speaking to you, right? So sometimes these mental health issues are coming from them, and by that time we didn't know mental issues. I mean, even when people are talking about depression is real and all these things, hey girl, we didn't even know what depression is. We only knowing it now. So now is the time that we need to also ask ourselves, what has my generation faced before I came into fruition, before I came into this person that I am? I had to take a phone call, and I think my mom was like, what, girl? Because I was like, hey, the ancestor, I didn't want to know what had happened to people in the past and all that. 2020, girl went, and I was writing names down, because I know that my mom knows about the names of the people and all these things, and so I went and I said, I want to know about your mother's mother, because my grandmother from my mother's side is still alive, and so I needed to know about those ones who have lived before me, and I found out that I know them. I don't know how do I know them, but I have. When she was explaining, the physique and all that, I felt like I know these people. I don't know how that happens, but I also wanted to know what is it that they were struggling with, and of course my mom didn't know like a lot of things, like deeper things, but she will tell me that this one, the child passed away and all that. If you remember, Dr. Maditsa, I once did a video on the mindset makeover, where I was explaining also the anxiousness that I had when I was when Gosi was still young, that maybe he's going to die and all these things, only to find out that I was feeling what my mom was feeling, because there is one brother of ours who passed away, and he was born in 1984, so he passed away. And those feelings, those emotions, I also have them, and they manifested as anxiety. So when you have generations before you, you need to know what are the things in your family from both your mother and your father's side. I'm not here to preach Bosango or Mabahore when you don't know your father and all these things. No, no, no. Go and seek for truth. Sometimes the people who are already there with you don't know what had happened, but if you seek for wisdom, the Bible says, ask for wisdom from God. And when you ask for wisdom, you will know things that you never thought you will ever know. Like, guys, if I can sit here and tell you about what I know, you will think that, hi, when you have connection somewhere and all these things. I just sit and I ask for wisdom. And also, because when I came into this calling, I was even told that I was not the only, and not told by another person. My spirit told me that I'm not the first woman in my bloodline to be sexually abused or raped, right? So the calling, which I even explained it in my book, was for me to come and heal the injustices of sexual abuse in my bloodline. Because there are women who went, they did not even say anything. Here I am, I'm talking about it. So generational wounds would also manifest as anxiety, as depression, and other mental health illnesses. So you need to come to a part in your life where you understand what has my family been through. Okay. Now the third one, what time is it? Okay. The third one is food and lifestyle. So I've spoken about how many people cannot connect to God because of what the lifestyle that they live. Sometimes when I say a spirit told me this and this and this, people think that I go and consult somebody to. No, it's the Holy Spirit, or your guidance, or whoever. And everyone has got access to that. Now, when you are not living right, when your lifestyle is not right, you are eventually going to clash. Your spiritual being and your lifestyle will clash, and it will manifest itself as anxiety, as depression, because you are not fulfilled in what you're doing. You are only, and I think the church tried to explain that you need to live a righteous life. A righteous life is simply standing or living in your truth, and not the truth that you're told about. This is how you need to live, but your own truth. So when you are living a good lifestyle of eating healthy, guys, and healthy to me and another person is different. I mean, I am lactose intolerant, so I don't consume anything dairy, and because it just, hey, when I am consuming milk and all those things, I love ice cream, but unfortunately I cannot have ice cream. So I just decided that, you know what, maybe once in a year I'll have like ice cream, or twice in a year I'll have ice cream or something that has dairy in it, which that day, on the day, I know what is going to happen to me. But another person, healthy means eating dairy milk, dairy stuff, sorry, dairy products, right? So you need to understand what is healthy for me. What is it that is healthy for me? I always tell people, especially who want to lose weight, that starch is not that bad, because I lost weight when I was eating starch. And how did I do that? Because I was running. The exercises that I was doing were requiring me to eat a lot of starch, or healthy starch, if I could put it that way. So you need to understand what food are you consuming. If you are consuming alcohol, which one is good for you, which one is not good for you, right? So that you know that you don't struggle with a lot of anxiety, with a lot of things inside of you that you actually call anxiety, which is not anxiety or depression. Okay. I know. What is this? Caffeine. It makes me nar. It makes me nar. Caffeine is for me. It's just poisonous, because when I drink coffee, and I know a lot of people drink coffee so much that they cannot live with coffee because coffee is addictive. Um, when I drink coffee once, I think in 3 months, I would struggle with anxiety. One day I decided, of course, to go out of social media, because I needed to do some cleansing. I needed to do some detox on myself, and I was also fasting. So I felt like I was hungry, and I was like, let me taste coffee. Then I drank coffee. Girl, somebody called me, and I was so, like, it was like somebody was calling me to tell me that someone died or something. I was so, like, my heart was beating so fast and all these things. And I was asking myself, why am I feeling this way? And I found out, oh, I had caffeine. So also I am allergic to caffeine, to dairy products. So with you, you will know what exactly is okay with you, what sits well in your body, and do that, right? And also the lifestyle. guys, we cannot. I love well, I don't love groovers as much, I used to, but now I do go for groovers, then and there. But you cannot be always when I go groovers, because you don't have time for yourself. You don't have time to communicate with yourself. So the lifestyle also really affects you, because if you're always around people, you don't have time for yourself. How are you communicating with your spirit, with your soul, with your spirit? How do you know that you are not right? How do you know that you are suppressing other emotions? So you need that lifestyle that allows you to just sit. I know my husband always say, like, are you not watching TV? I'll be sitting there at the couch and not even putting on TV or anything, but just talking to myself. Silently, so because there are people in the house. So when they are not in the house, I literally have a meeting with me. So the lifestyle, what I can encourage, especially for this one, is that have a routine that you do every morning, that will empower you, that will actually show you if there is something not right, or if you are not in alignment. Because when you are not in alignment, eventually you are going to struggle with mental illnesses, or things that are going to come into your life will manifest as mental illnesses. So in the morning, do a routine, whatever that you believe in, prayer. And when you pray, guys, don't do like the prayer that you are doing as if you want somebody to look at you. Really deepen your relationship with God, and ask yourself, who is God beyond the borders of church? Who is God to me? Who do I see God as in my life? You don't have to be right or wrong, or you can meditate. The Bible even encourages meditation, that meditate on the word of God. What does the word of God say? So you can say things like, all things are happening in divine order and for our greatest good. It's a Bible verse in, I know I'm not saying it the way, but it's in Romans, I think. All things are happening for our good. So you need to do that every morning. Please, 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 every morning when you wake up, before you touch your phone, before you do anything, do that. Connect with your spirit the way you know how. I exercise. If I can share mine, I exercise, I pray, I meditate. A lot of people would be like, no, prayer and meditation do not mix. Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. I am talking about my life here. I'm not talking about the religious life that, because meditation was adapted by Buddhism and all that. I'm not practicing any religion. I'm practicing my spirituality. So I pray and I meditate, and at times I do journal. At times I chant. At times I listen to affirmations, or I affirm myself. I go out. There's lawn, then I would be grounding myself and doing that. So do that every day. Don't do that when you feel like, oh, my life is out of, and then you go and do it and do it. And then when again, do it, be consistent with it. If it's not exercise, it's okay, but do something every day before you get on with your day, so that you can, it's like you are taking a check for it. Okay, is Tumi alright? Is Nkanta alright? Or no, I'm not alright. Okay, what is it that I need today? Okay, this and this and that and that. Okay. And the before I forgot. No, before the last one. Sex. Oh, guys, I've spoken about sex for a long time, and I'm not speaking because I am married and then maybe because I'm allowed to. No. Sex, guys. And I believe now, actually, this was the revelation, um, that I got today when I was preparing for this, that when the Bible says that sex before marriage is a sin, I now understand what exactly Christianity, or the Bible implies when it talks about a sin. A sin is something that is not in alignment with your truest and most highest being that you are, right? So you can still practice a sin. I'm not saying go and practice a sin, but it's not in your true identity as a God within you, right? So when you have sex, and I think it was coming from this, when you are having sex outside of marriage, it means that you are marrying people unconsciously. So So when I said go altaring and I'm like, I'm taking DJ Morris as my death and life and what, that is a vow that I am taking until a certain period in my life, right? So until death do us part. So when I die or Morris dies, then that vow it's broken. Morris can remarry and do anything, or I can remarry or do anything because I am no longer in that binded by that vow, right? But when you are not married, then it means that you are having sex with people, you are marrying them, marrying their spirituality, marrying their depression, marrying their anxiety, their mental illness, things that are coming from their bloodline. You are marrying them and you are not even aware of what you are marrying, right? And then you don't have a vow for that until me and this person break up, then this vow does not exist. You don't have that. So guess what happens? You go from one relationship to the other. You are marrying these people, you are marrying them, you are marrying them, you are marrying them, until you have 50 other spirits within you that are not in alignment with your truth. You have married these people unconsciously, so, and you are taking their aura and everything that is there, and you don't even have a vow that broke that, and you are struggling. You are thinking that you are struggling with depression and anxiety. Nope, you are struggling with spirits. Said him, they say, I grew up, where they say dingaka, traditional healers cannot come and baberekan. I don't know how to say this in English, but baberekan all at once, because their spirits can actually fight with one another. That's exactly what happens when you are having sex out of wedlock. Now the question will be, yo, coach, should I stop? I don't know, girl, if you should stop, but all I'm saying is that cleanse yourself. Cleanse yourself, whether you want to stop or you're not stopping, but you need to literally cleanse yourself every time. And there is so many ways of cleansing yourself. Now we are going to the hike, which has a waterfall. You can come, please guys, come and cleanse yourself. Come and cleanse yourself at the waterfall, because different types of waters do different types of things. You can have a salt and what water, and it can cleanse this much. But when you go to the river, it can cleanse this much. When you go to the ocean, cleanse this much. When you go to a waterfall, cleanses this much. So you literally have to cleanse yourself. And for people who knows that the husband or the wife is not faithful, this is also for you. When even you are aware, sometimes you are not aware, it's okay, but you also have to cleanse regularly for yourself, right? So when you know that your husband is not right, or your wife is not doing the right thing, you also have to be aware of that. That is why we don't advocate for people to cleanse themselves and stay in toxic marriages, but to cleanse themselves and walk away from a person who's not willing to become faithful to them. Okay, right. That was the third one. Food and lifestyle. Lifestyle in bracket sex. And then unhealing. Yo, guys, my book is coming out called Trapped. And I am, I was guided to talk about stories that I never spoke about in my two books, where a lot of people think that, oh, you just came out and you're this person. But I struggled with a lot of things in my life. So when I healed myself, I could speak about it. So I asked that you actually every month put money aside. I don't want people, I don't want to take people or refer you to people where you're going to say like I'm unemployed, what. No, money, put money aside. Get a coach. If it's me, good. If it's another coach, good. If it's a therapist, good. But put money aside every month that belongs to your personal healing. Healing yourself. Whether you are going to buy yourself a book, whether you are going to sign up for a program, whether you're going to sign up for a healing session, whatever it is, whether it's a hike, but you say to yourself every month, there is money, 500. If you can afford 500, good. 300, good. But you are going to sign up or do any other form of healing yourself. Because when you don't heal yourself, obviously, you are going to have these things, because you are suppressed, your emotions are suppressed, you're not releasing any other emotion within you that needs to be released. When you get hurt, you store it in your body, you store it in your heart, you store it everywhere, and you are not releasing these things. So every month, um you know put up, what is this, an intention that every month I am signing up for healing. And you know what bothers you, you know what is your problem, you know what exactly you are going through. So Pastor Mama cannot come into your life and prophesy that you need to go this and this. I cannot come and say, hey, you need to go through this and this and this. All the only thing I can do is to guide you and refer you, if I cannot do that, right? So healing yourself is very important. And if you don't heal yourself, obviously, you're going to struggle with mental health illnesses, because our mind, body, and spirit are connected. So when you get wounded in the spirit, it also affects how you think about yourself. It also affects how you feel within your body. Okay, some people are carrying excess weight and all these things. They cannot lose weight because of the trauma and pain that they have faced and all these things. But when they heal themselves, losing weight is very, very easy for them. Okay, so that is that. The first one is that many people are sensitive to energy, so you need to ask yourself, when you think that you are depressed, what has been triggering that depression. And generational wounds, food and lifestyle, or as well exercising, guys, is very important. When you exercise, you release good feel good hormones like dopamine, all these feel good hormones, and they help you release stress within your body. So do that exercise. Even though you are small, you don't have to exercise because you just want to lose weight. You can exercise just to be mentally healthy. Okay, and then the last one is healing yourself. So on the next week Saturday, we are going to a hike and a meditation where we're going to be healing, loving, and connecting with the inner child. While we go through the hiking trail, we'll be doing meditations. And this time around, because last time we had rain that disturbed us, we are actually going to do a meditation on Friday at 8 p.m. So the ticket for the hike and meditation will close on Friday at 12 p.m. because also I had to arrange with the people who the people for the restaurant there. Okay, so the day before we're going to do a preparation meditation that will take us through the cleansing, and hopefully it's going to lead you to what is it that you need to cleanse when you get to the waterfall. For people who don't want to go to the waterfall, it's okay, it's all right, it's good. But we will be doing meditations around there. The price is only 300 for that. 300 for that. And I'm taking also a certain number of people. I don't want a group that I cannot control. So do the right thing and sign up in time. It's only 300 rent. You get an entrance fee, meditations, and also breakfast from there. Okay, what else am I forgetting? Oh, my new book called Trapped. It's I actually wrote this book because of the work that I'm doing now, and because of what I have been experiencing as I have been healing other people with that. So it's a book that is explaining trauma. Some people don't know what trauma is. They're thinking it's just something tragic that happens to you. I'm explaining the little details about trauma. The book is 250. But if you pre-order the book before the 26th of April, you are getting free delivery or free courier. If you are outside of where I'm living, you'll probably get a courier for that. I'll send it. So please, please, please do sign up, pre-order your book, pay that 250. You will be the first ones to get the book after we launch it at the retreat, because we are launching it on the 30th. Okay, what else am I missing? Oh, the healing session. I'm available for healing and also coaching. If you are here and you need healing, Mel B is here. And for the people who I'm going to read the comments. For the people who are booking the discovery session, let me explain, because my assistant told me that, hey, there's a lady who said you didn't pitch for the discovery session. The discovery session, you sign up, and then with your email address, and the link for the Zoom, because it's on Zoom, it goes to your Zoom, um, to your email. The link for Zoom goes to your email, and then with me, because I don't know, it's a lot of people who are signing up for this. So some of them I know, like, if it's to me, I would know, or to me Makume, I know her. But if it's someone else that I don't know their names, I don't know their numbers, I cannot call them and say, hi, sign up. So always when you do book, please make sure that your email address is correct. Yes, your books are going to be signed, Mugel. No, I can't do that. Your books are going to be signed. Yes, I see. It's a call. Funny you are talking about it as as a call. Hey, I was running away from myself. Hello, 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 hello. Dima said she received the message. So Dima, maybe you need to do some healing work for yourself. Okay. This is basically why I stopped watching news, because even after a minute of watching news, I would feel sad and angry. Ooh, Lord, Lord. I don't know people who are watching news every day. How do, or maybe they no longer have feelings anymore. Maybe. Yeah, yes. So when you are sensitive to energy, that's how you would feel. Um, all right, you are special coach. It is important to guard who and what you bring in your life. I always tell my friends to go on dates, but be careful of who you go home with. The spirits are hectic, very, very, very hectic. I'm going to sign your books, guys. I'm going to sign your books, and I'm hoping to see you at the. Some of you, I'm not seeing you at the retreat, but I will see you at the hike. I will see you at the um, at the the healing sessions. I will see you at the coaching sessions. I actually offer a lot of healing, because, hey, when you are now, I had to stop my 5 a.m. club because those are the times that I'm working. So I have healing sessions which are individual for couples, especially couples. I recommend couples who they cheated on each other and all these things. Say, you don't know how to navigate this life. Please come for that couples healing session. I also offer group healing sessions, which mainly would be family or friends or cousins or people who are related, who are clashing with one another and things like that. Please do come for, and there are specific days for all those things. So if you do get like a group healing session, it happens only on Saturday. So if you book now, at least you will have the Saturday to yourself, unless if I'm fully booked. Okay. So otherwise, I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We are almost on 900 and almost on 1,000 subscribers. So yeah. Good night, people. Love you. Goodbye.